come in, but I do think this BBL roster could surprise some people. They're going to be hungry to take down a team like Fnatic, a team that they have watched in the Tier 1, probably scrim them a whole lot as well.
Cutting through.
And I'm excited to see if the youngsters can match up against the best team in the EMEA.
Yeah, it's always a big test facing off against Fnatic. For BBL, starting out here on a map that they've chosen. They're on the wrong foot. The Cash already in with a double. The BBL, well, they are left to try to pick up the pieces with at least a bit of control on A. Last time we didn't. I mean, we've seen different interpretations kind of how to play this map. We had the team come in without Viper. Obviously, that's not going to be the case this time. But I do love what Fnatic are bringing with the Sage as well. Thinking about pushing quick on mid, moving to the A site. There's going to be so much value that wall can bring from having, really isolating a lane, stopping your opponents from coming behind you. But that's more on the attack side. Here on the defense, everyone on Fnatic can hold their own.
Well, maybe a slight opportunity for LaRock. He's found a little bit of space, a chance to maybe isolate Beckage. That one should be for free. And that does at least give them the B side. They don't know it yet. Still angles that need to be cleared, and Crashy's already quick on the flank. In fact, 3 players coming into that flank. But a post-plant opportunity. No escape for Rose, but this puts it all onto one man. LaRock had a bit of a quiet performance in the opener, but that's a nice shot. Taking down Crashy's. Still plenty more to find. A quick step coming out will make it impossible, and Alfia is going to make sure it doesn't get dangerous at all. Fnatic pistol round under their belt, and maybe a sign of how they're going to play this map. That was quite aggressive.
Yeah, right off the rip, we're seeing them getting into B main, looking to take the fight to BBL, and for that attack side, when you're playing the default like that, those first fights need to go your way. Vekaj being able to take a double here, and that stun obviously helps out in the second, but Lover's Rock shot's not landing. Leaves them with a huge disadvantage. They just can't pick up the pieces for it.
Well, I kind of want to chime in on what you said as well.
Let's go, baby.
The concept of that delay coming out from the Sage, because I also feel like a lot of people are using Neon like that now. Like the stuns, we saw them quite a bit when we were watching some of the Pearl that came out, just those early stuns to sort of delay. I think that that's going to be a big part of this, is slowing opponents down to give opportunities for those rotations. Astra also comes into the mix with that as well. For now, though, a bit of a faster paced hit, trying to put the pressure onto Alfia. Well, there's the Bandit, already taking him down.
Yeah, stealing the first kill away.
Didn't get the gun.
When that wall goes down, these players are in the open. It's a different ball game altogether. The rifle should have the advantage. So BBL, they get back towards main, play this post plant, snake bite and shock darts online. Potential to stop the defuse even from that far away, but the players on site need to buy time and attempt to grab the weapon, but it won't be getting anything really done as LaRock falls as well. The time not putting enough pressure on. That snake bite, those shock darts, they'll be fired through any moment. Now snake bite even a little bit early, and they've spotted Kraven. I think all the advantages here slowly fading away. The shot is good though, and it will take down Beckage, but now without that vulnerable, they'll need to spam on the classics. It's so close to taking down the diffuser, to making this a nail biter of a round, but Fnatic end up on top 2-0 nonetheless.
Yeah, I think that was a lot closer than you might realize it would be. Like that was, I think, 1 or 2 extra classic bullets there.
Yeah.
That's round over because he would have had to let go of getting it to the whole way. So a nice attempt from BBL with what was ultimately very, very little to play with. And
Shit, Austin. He's like the Iron Man.
So important as well for BBL to already put up a blip on the radar, a chance for a round, even though there were 3 players left alive. The clock very nearly decided it. For BBL, now they get the rifles out.
yeah, and light shields on almost every single player.
Huge potential.
Means that this Outlaw is one-shot kill. We've already seen some pretty impressive rounds from Lover's Rock with the sniper, but not. Oh, actually,
the
no.
wall.
He does connect. It's just a little bit of luck, I guess, for Kayak. Does get the heal as well.
The door got in the way. As you said, healed back up to 100. He's out of here. Alfia won't have that opportunity. There's only 2 players on the other side, though. Like, this isn't a rush coming in, not full commitment to A, but they wanted to seem that way. At least it appears that like that from the start. Using the drone, taking the orb. But now do they go back?
Toxin screen down.
It looks like it. The problem is that Fnatic haven't overplayed their hand. They haven't rotated to the B side. Instead, they've gone aggressive and up on top of the wall. Lover's Rock suspects his opponent to be there, but Alpha still manages to land the kill. I think the wall saved him again. Unlucky for Lover's Rock.
Yeah, he could have had 2 kills in this round. Instead, he's ended up dead. And Okay, he's left his opponents a little bit low. Hunter's Fury being utilized in the executes very early and a little bit disruptive for Kayak. He's trying to dance to the back, even trying to escape. All of the extra utility being somewhat gone unnoticed, and Crashy's doing an incredible job. Now his chance to pounce, but he'll only get one. It's actually Crashy's doing all of the work.
Yeah, I mean, Boaster gave Crashies the shout out, which, much like the interview with Vikash, as we heard earlier on, as soon as one of them's making a play, the Crashies comes out. They're always supporting each other. Yeah, look at this. That's not Kayak, just so you know, that's out there, but he's the second tag from Lover's Rock. You know, 2 opportunities to take kills to put them ahead as well. Those would have been 3 picks without trades. And instead, they're left in the dust for BBL. Potential in the last 2 rounds. Potential that hasn't been realized, and now they're on pistols with a 3-0 start for the favorites.
Bear in mind as well, when BBL did manage to win this last time out versus Pacific, it was a very heavy attack side map for them, 9 rounds, and it almost ended up slipping away on their defense. So we're going to want to get off to the races fairly soon, otherwise we could see Fnatic really start to build that gap between them. Of course, they've definitely had opportunities. It's not like those rounds have been complete whitewashes, but now the shoe's on the other foot, that outlaw in the hands of Kayak, and he's not missing.
Go, go, go!
Yeah, there's no walls in between him and his opponents. And even if there were, only got the pistols to fire back. Won't be doing too much. Unless they can get the numbers and grouping up on mid. With 50 seconds left, they've not got a lot to do. Sage wall's gone up inside main. And from here, the options very much running out for BBL. It's time to push into that site. Look for the battle and the double doors and hold on. With Alpha Air down, now there's a chance. The Blade Storm's closing in the distance. Boaster is pretty much isolated. You can see his buddy Crashy's trying to get in there to help, but he's caught on the backside, so Boaster has to hold his own, and he will at least to start a little more around the back. That's given them the chance to fight back into this round. It could have been a disaster. Weapons picked up the plant for BBL, but instead it's a 1v2.
Kraven left with an opportunity, stun. Alongside the snake bite, leaves him isolated in the corner. No escape, no place to move. A missed shot. Still gives him a chance, but they're going to line up together, and it's the bandit that actually closes it out. The one shot to the light shot of the light shields player. And again, what looked like it could have been closer ends up with a couple of players standing and Fnatic with a 4th round.
Yeah, very nicely done. I think, again, I'm not having a lot of faith in that play, but the first kill that comes through, still going to Blade Storm online, and Boaster with another rifle to potentially be picked up if he's dropped. The fact that he gets 2, that gave that little bit of extra space. And that wiggle room ends up giving them the round. For Fnatic, a 4-0 start. And look, even in that round there, that's 3 in a row now that we can say, hey, BBL.
6-0.
6-0, and 1,000 and whatever. It's 1,000 lifetime kills just reached here in VCT EMEA.
How long has he been in the league?
Time to check.
Not that long. Not that long
That's
at all.
a very quick 1,000 kills.
Speed run strat. It's not quite any percentage. 4-0 for Fnatic. Op coming out on Kayak as well. Like, ult in his back pocket. This is the round that BBL called a timeout for, the one where they look to course correct, but for Fnatic, a chance to really put the boot down on the neck. BBL need this, and they're playing very slow, very cautious, and we've seen this before. Play for A main control, take the orb, but what they saw that time was a lot of re-aggression from Fnatic. As we can see, that won't be the case this time, and I think they're trying to bait that out, look for the fights.
Vision.
Already, Lover's Rock has been caught.
Nice.
Battle versus Kayak doesn't work, but Bosa now goes down. The drone will give away positions, but Kraven's Lurk has found value. The trade's back and forth, and now Kayak's looking to try and take the control back immediately. Operator in hand, but too many angles potentially to check, but he gets away with it. Takes down Rose. Kraven's still holding the cross. And a late rotation from Alpha, yeah, but caught in no man's land is Loiter in positions that are easy to clear, and now Kraven, well, we've already seen him attempt this once, but he's stuck alone. And look how Kayak just comes out with absolutely everything. Alpha was just along for the ride as our rookie of last year. Shows you why.
10-0, by the way. He hadn't tasted death yet. His teammates fell on the site and he said, screw it. I'm getting in there with an op. He's no-scope clear in every angle. Takes out the ult and destroys everyone in his path.
Hey, boys! No.
Oh, we even have to mute it. Kayak's got the energy, and a 5-0 start for Fnatic. We said every other round, you know, it had been close, and BBL here as well. You've got an opportunity.
Yeah,
but to have it
Kayak killed everyone.
stolen away like that, that's going to start to get in your head. Lovers Rock as well. 0 and 5, brought the off out last round, immediately kicked off by Kayak, as we saw in the replay. This is a really tough start for BBL that, again, has had the promise, but at the end of the day, 0 rounds. We got to start putting something on the board.
Oh, this is not looking like a good fight for them here. Loiter was almost just trying to destroy the drone, not realizing that the drone had a friend with a big gun to play with. 11 and 0. We can keep counting. I feel like that's going to be what this game turns into at this point if Kayak keeps doing what Kayak does. No longer a rookie. For some, that might put pressure on. For him, doesn't look like it. Looks like he's feeling pretty all right coming in as a... We call him a regular now? What happens when you're not a rookie? You're just a dude?
Some guy.
Some guy.
Hell of a guy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Dash in. Shot's not going to land.
He does miss.
Kayak's been counted. Oh, okay, he hasn't been counted out of the play. He's immediately got in for one. A shot missed as Kraven returns fire. It looks a little dicey for Boaster. He's able to take down Rose in the office, still covering the reinforcements. Kraven will make it to the site, but he falls immediately at the hands of Alphier. And this plant will never be coming through with Boaster on the wraparound. 6 and 0 for Fnatic. Was it 11 and 0 for Kayak as well? Keeping up the tally, a 12, pardon me.
Yeah,
12 and 0 for Kayak.
It's quite
There's no
easy. What you
stopping
do
him.
is it's 2 kills a round.
Every single round.
It's just it's been toning up over time. Like if he misses a round, he comes back before the next.
Tom,
Very comfortable.
2
Yeah.
timeouts in the first 7 rounds.
To be fair,
before this,
the maps they won versus Pacific, he was their best player, especially on Pearl. Right now, he has been silenced. We'll see if there's any response here. It's a bit of a mixed bag buy. A few Guardians, a Stinger, and a Sheriff. And no ults to play with, which, yeah, I guess if they get the plant for Loiter, that would be nice, but then you've got to get there first, and that's not been going great.
Oh, that good slow. That's going to completely halt the play in towards this B side. 100 Fury thrown through for good measure, good damage as well. Now BBL try to fight back already, having taken their blows, and it's Kayak to fall. At long last, Lloyd has managed to deal with him for BBL. Weak weapons, and tries to start it out was about as good as you could hope for, especially with a man like Kayak down, but, well, spam through the smoke will put the advantage right back firmly into the hands of Fnatic, but the A side, very open. One man standing there, but every time Boaster's been backed into a corner, he has come back swinging. Let's see if he can do it again.
Oh, Kayak finally died in a round, so they decided to bring him back to life. And it didn't really seem needed at all. Dear Lord, Crashies. Well, we heard that, yeah, one of the off-season events, he had to take over the IGLing. Doesn't seem to have damaged his fragging at all. 9 and 4. Obviously not doing it right now, but it seems like he was waiting for Kayak to die to step up to the plate. Well, for BBL, if there was going to be any hope in this map, it needs to be now. You're back on a bye again. You've got a couple of ults to play with. And they don't have a res. So if you actually kill Kayak, this time he is dead.
At least there's that. Alphier. Oh no, he's up on top of the wall. He's taking Lover's Rock down, but he's also caught himself in the corner. He's stuck. He's stuck behind his own wall. He can't get out. They think he's Arizona. It just cleared him. Oh, Alpha. That's a funny play. As the pick goes down, even in the 4v2, they're giving them respect, realizing that they have been able to do so much so far. Crashies might have caught the timing, actually. Light is down. The pit's fallen. And up goes the drone. He's safe in that corner, getting so much information as Boaster wraps around to help. Good shock dart as well. Just trying to push them into the open. Let that off on the IGL. Ring through, but the shot doesn't land. Larocque still breathes in that corner, and Crashies has to bail Boaster out again. Has to give him that help as the time runs desperately low. A last-ditch attempt. The utility thrown through. They're in the open, but every shot lands for BBL. And finally, the attackers are on the board.
It almost started in comedic fashion. I was worried that was going to go very badly for them with Huffy jumping up on the wall, but it turns out the only way that you get rid of them is if they put themselves in jail. A nice couple of shots from Lloyd. I love that, though, from LaRock, where he just goes... Well, he was on the wall.
And he threw a slow a second ago.
I've not seen him anywhere else on the site. I think he's still there.
Keep up.
Oh. Well,
Never know, maybe next time he'll just intentionally hide there with that wall.
probably
Snake
not.
in the grass.
He had a good little laugh to himself there when he went down, though. That's what
It's
we
quite
like to see
easy
from
when
Alpha.
you're winning 7-1.
Well, see if BBL can climb back. Many scorelines like this, especially the 7-0,
10-2.
7-1, they always seem to be able to bounce back. The 10-2, I'm not going to say they always, but more recently, sure,
Yeah.
we've seen teams bounce back, but certainly not the
Maybe I've
norm.
got some reasons to lie.
Immediately showing that the Yoru was towards the A site, but now the TP's taken. It's going to be used up on B. This is all a ruse. Although the gate crashes into the spawn, Kayak going to catch a double as well. BBL are trying to play the mind games, and sure, they've got the plant on A. The Yoru fake
They haven't yet.
in that
They haven't
sense.
yet.
But what they need to do is deal with the players on Fnatic, and at least for now, Kayak Alpha down, but Boaster still to be cleared from this site. Not a man who likes to relinquish that control, but now you might have to wait for backup. Krevin's caught him.
I know exactly where you are.
Gonna get the reveal. Just come through quick enough. The shock dart does some damage. Shot not connecting, and now Becca's just caught another. The last player's only 5 HP. An easy cleanup in the end. As it is just a blip for the side of Fnatic. They are straight back to winning ways.
Yeah, I gotta say, man, coming into today, I'm very... Okay, I'll say coming into the year, for me, this team, that guy seemed like a piece that maybe didn't fit the puzzle. Like, he performed okay regionally last year, but I was surprised to see Fnatic pick him up. And now, I mean, we're seeing some of that scouting prowess. He's been very reliable, a safe pair of hands in a lot of these moments. A guy I'll definitely have my eye on this year, because
Yeah.
I feel like, especially because they picked him up, they see something there, right? I feel like he's a player that got a little unfortunate, I suppose. It's hard to perform with those kind of results that they had last year.
Oh yeah,
Get out of my
if they
way.
weren't choking, we might have talked about them as a fantastic team. First half, they were pretty damn good. Here goes LaRock. Looking to try and take this one into his own hands. Lovers Rock, it's been a cursed game for him, but LaRock starting to show some of that skill. 2 players dead on this side of the map, though. Will he expect a third to be here? Boaster goes looking for a teammate. LaRock already digged up as they look to try and wrap on him, but he'll get out of there. Get back further. Kreven. Oh, no! That was almost whiff of the century. A free kill, and he's down to 5 HP for it. Boaster also maybe closer than expected, but that's lovely from LaRock. It leaves Alfia alone, and you look at this as a 1v4 turn 3, and you'd go, oh, he shouldn't be going for this. But you look how low the players are, and I don't know. I kind of want to see him try.
Yeah, I mean, if he had a rifle in his hand, maybe, with the calls of damage, but with an op,
Oh,
not so
okay.
much. Away goes the op, though. Not going to be carrying that through to the next. He got plenty of
There
money.
we go. He's going to pick up the rifle.
Very late to the party at this stage, though. That's looking for
But even clearing guns is
damage,
worth it.
right? Yeah. Nice start.
Down.
But the others have already flown far, far away.
Is he going to get another op? Doesn't look like it.
No.
End up just escaping out of there. 8-2. BBL find a response off the back of LaRock. Of course, he was definitely someone worth talking about in the off-season. We heard rumors that every team under the sun, including potentially Fnatic, were in for him. Obviously, those are rumors. Don't know how true that's going to be, but he's definitely been, of the 2 duelists, the better today. He was a bit quieter in their first match versus Pacific, but Lovers Rock so far has been utterly shut down.
We talked about Kayak 10-0. Lovers Rock 0-10. Very much the polar opposite performance
Perfectly
for
balanced.
him. Kayak is up to 14 now, looking really, really solid as the Fnatic squad 8-2. Really, the line in the sand is here, and now the final one for BBL. And it lasted now 8-4 scoreline. It's going to be tough to battle back from. Nice kill onto Vikaj. Has gotten them some control towards this site.
That's a wall.
That is a wall, yeah. Maybe they did make them think he's up on top of it. I'll give him that. Nice Under's Fury. But Kreven's waiting for him and catching the reload. That's going to be a freebie. BBL right back to a 4v3. Advantage is theirs. Kayak, though, he got a little lost on the wall. And now he's being taken down. Lovers Rock on the board. And it's Kayak that he drops.
Crash, he's definitely had his moments in this game. Credits-wise, still not in a bad spot, so they could look to risk this one. Boaster had a bit of an off angle. They're going to try and stun in the corner. That's an opportunity. Crashies knows that there's a couple of players here, but Lovers Rock doubles up and leaves Boaster to try and clutch this one out. Back to the shadows, he dissipates, and for Boaster, all they can really hope for is maybe attempting some form of ninja defuse or baiting them into thinking he's going for something of the sort. Damage has been done at least a little bit to the economy, but bear in mind, next round is the last one, so there will be a buy for BBL nonetheless.
Yeah, but chipping away at that deficit, all that they need to do. Smiles on the faces down there, and again,
Rose is still happy.
you end up 8-4 from the position we started in, and 7-0 down. And then you think about the fact that, like we said, a couple of rounds very much could have went their way. Some clutches, some big plays. Deny the opportunities going to that attacking side. So BBL could be happy that this is somewhere they could have done more damage. Problem is, this is their map pick. Haven Abyss up next. This is where we need to see BBL look good. And so far, they look injured.
Oh yeah, they look bludgeoned. I think especially Lovers Rock, he got his first 2 kills in the last round. Hopefully that's a bit of a resurgence from him, but I'm looking at Kayak back with the operator in hand. He was their kryptonite thus far in this game. Operator will be onto the other side as well. Now they did manage to catch out Vekaj in the last. That is sort of the difference with his role in this team. Obviously, over on Mates, he was playing more of the initiator, playing with the team. In this case, in a lot of maps, I imagine he's going to be left more on an island as that Senti or quasi-sentinel role. Up goes the operator. That's a bold attempt at a pick, but obviously a safe space for Kayak to fall back from. No harm done.
The spike creeping its way towards the B site. Crashies has a challenge on his hands, and he's isolated the first masterfully as Vekaj takes one from the side. The spike down in the open, and Kayak rallying to its position. Lovers Rock, oh, he's surrounded. Shot from all sides as LaRock, the last man standing, 1 versus 4. Plenty of ultimates in play. Alpha here having a res as well. He's not even bothering to try and use it with 15 seconds left. They know this one should just be a formality. Indeed it is.
I don't think he had enough bullets to kill everyone unless he was just going for one taps, but a 9-3 half-4 Fnatic is about as good as it gets. They started incredibly strong. We at least saw a little bit of fight in the BBL boys in the end, but for their map choice, this has been a pretty rough first half. Nonetheless, we will be finding out if this carries on after the break.
Your body.
You can do some damage. Abyss, they just didn't look great. So I really don't have much faith that they'll be able to take that over the line. Of course, I think we saw earlier, it was over 600 days ago we witnessed Fnatic playing this map last. But when they did play it, they're pretty good at it.
Indeed.
Wasn't this team, but
a solid squad at Breeze all those years ago. Now we move into this. The modern day, the modern era, the modern Fnatic.
Almost everyone's here for BBL.
Nice stuff. Great battles already. A pistol round for BBL here is a godsend, and it looks like it's arrived just on time.
Bad play.
Flawless fashion. In-zone are happy as 9-4 is on the board. BBL, perhaps the bounce back's beginning.
Yeah, they had an incredibly good read in that round. 4 players were not even just towards A, they were back sight of A very early on in that take. You can see here, it's only Kreven that's just watching towards mid, so clearly had a solid read on what their opponents were going to be doing, or just happy to play the retake on the other side. It's a good way to get back into things. Of course, we've seen them play this map once. It was a strong attack side victory with Rose dropping 23 kills. He'd have to have a very good defensive side to match up to his previous performance, but to be honest, that's not really what we come to expect from BBL as a whole.
Viper's wall going up here. It's not really going to block off the rock. He's got the angle up top to take that fight from miles and miles away. I do like what they're doing there on defense as well. That's such an annoying wall towards A main. A lot of the time you're going to see Vipers towards the B side, at least historically. This allowing you to create so many extra angles for your opponents to clear. Always going to be a headache. A minute on the clock. Expectations very low for Fnatic, but well, that's the one weapon they've got in middle, in the form of the Bandit. And we know that it can do a lot of damage. Certainly got your work cut out for you pushing into this B site 3 stack with Cypher Util.
That time is starting to tick down. It seems like even just off the read their opponents have, they've had the rotation already in from Lover's Rock, and if they were to try and go back now, they wouldn't have a whole lot of time to do it, but they are going to try and run it all the way back to the other side of the map. 25 seconds left on the clock, and there is actually only one man here. Now, that one man is Loiter, and Loiter has a rifle, so I would still say that he's in a pretty good position here, but if Alfie can hit the heady, maybe there's an opportunity. That gun will take him down, especially now from this sort of range. And, well, never mind, it's going to be the classic to do it. At least the gun dropped. Of course, a lot of investment here from the side of BBL, so they couldn't really afford to lose too many weapons. And they don't. They managed to keep all of the bullets. The only thing that was lost was the Marshal.
Yep. And one player dying in 2 rounds. If you're talking about having to make a comeback, building confidence, exactly how you do it. Big individual plays can help out. Maybe this is the round for it. Does BBL come in with weaknesses, disadvantages for certain? Well, Fnatic, on the other hand, finally get that buy up, looking for their double digits. Would double up the scoreline of their opposition. I wonder if there's, like, in this round, with so many weaknesses, I like aggression. I like this idea for BBL. Go walk out on mid. Send Larocque with the Guardian. The guy who can actually take that range fight.
Not ready for that.
No, not expected. And a great result in the early stages for BBL. They probably this brings us closer to even. They've already got those, you got your pistol and a lot of bulldogs.
It's funny as well, because that was one of the major criticisms we had, was that BBL were doing this too much when facing off against Pacific. But I also feel like it was just maybe a bit of an off day for Larocque in general. Like, I don't think we saw the best of him. He's been fantastic, by the way. He's the top fragger in the server. We were talking at a point about how Kayak couldn't be touched by anybody. I think he was like 12-0 when he finally died. Larocque has since overtaken him, and he's going back for the fight. That's not a gun in hand, an immediate angles have sort of been added into the map, and it looks like Larocque is very happy to try and exploit those. Lover's Rock is gone, though. Alfia being able to catch one. He's the only rifle in hand. How much damage can he do with it?
Nice shot, Loida. Trading out is fine here, but Rose does manage to bring us back. Now, a 1 versus 2.
Not the gun you want.
Crashies finally gets his rifle. 45 seconds, but look where the spike is. They're not actually holding it now. He can get it, get out. That's exactly what he does. 40 seconds now. Rotate can easily be taken. There is Cypher utility waiting there, so they'll get the info. And I think also because of that, you're unlikely to see BBL rotate.
30 seconds left.
Obviously, Crashies doesn't have that info, but he will soon. And the thing is, if that's true, if they stay in position on the A site, as they are, if he gets to the B site, if he plants, that post plant, 1v2 Hunter's Fury, could completely flip the odds into his favor. And the plant will be secured, and he'll have all the time to go wherever he
10
wants.
seconds left.
They're also splitting up.
Spike planted.
Normally, these are the moments where you'd want to see the players go together, especially when up against someone as
They're going to walk into each other.
proficient as Crashies. This could be everything a chance! And just giving him the freebie. I don't know why BBL decided to split up and look for clues, but that's definitely a Scooby-Don't and not a Scooby-Doo. We'll see if Kreven has enough to try and take this one over the line. Already being revealed now, the Hunter's Fury gets popped. Just looking to try and buy that additional time. Trying to bait it in a little bit more, but Kreven's doing well, knowing he can stick it that extra little bit. He already managed to get it to half, and he can stick it over the line. Smart stuff from Kreven. Outplayed a master of the clutch, and you can see he is happy about it.
Yeah, that was just really, really well played. I mean, as soon as your teammate goes down there, you're back against a wall in a really tough position. And the fact that he goes in, baits out the first 2 pulses, and that's where Crashies has a choice. Play this normally, rifle out, or go for that extra pulse. And because Kreven's not low enough, you don't have time to get there. Really, really nicely done. And that's the kind of thing you expect from a seasoned, tenured player. Calm and cool under pressure, but no mistakes made by the rookie.
Yeah, that was really, really well played from Kreven, and an important round at that. That could have been the backbreaker for them. A 10th round that could have come off the back of what was a singular rifle and some weak buys. Just look at how passive Fnatic are now playing. And you can't blame them. Well, look at where LaRock is going. Like, he is pushing. He has been. He's been aggressive every single round and is still sat right at the top of that board as the best player in the server. And he's getting them a lot of an early warning system. The drone's going to go through into mid, just to try and clear. Maybe this is LaRock buying off more than he can chew. There are so many players around this corner, and this time Kayak wins the fight. Finally shutting down the youngster. There is still Lover's Rock here with the sniper, though. He's going to get into position and manages to hold his ground.
This half brought with it a spark of hope for BBL.
I'm out of here.
It looks like it will stay alive, not stuffed out yet with Kreven dancing around the backside, finding Kayak. The advantage there for BBL, the off back out, Lover's Rock. Oh, he's not going to land the shot. A tough game for him continues
30 seconds
deep
left.
into this second half, but there it is. The shot lands. Fnatic 2 left standing. Crashies, but now it's just Crashies. Good spray to start, but 3 more surrounded and dealt with. Another round from Kreven as BBL make it to 8. That spark of hope smoldering into a flame of ambition. They are just 1 away from equalizing.
Yeah, and they've already got more rounds than they did on the defensive side last time they played this map after it was looking like a very good comeback from Pacific. But Kreven really has been fantastic. That last round clutch was so imperative. And then that 3K especially, like just managing to sort of maneuver around while Lover's Rock was taking the majority of the eyes away. Fnatic starting to struggle a little bit here. We were talking about this like it was almost a done deal with the first, what was it, like seven rounds in a row, I think.
Yeah,
They then went
7-1.
7-1. Yeah. But now, well, since then, only 2 rounds have gone in their direction. And the youngsters of BBL are starting to show that, hey, maybe they're not rookies just yet.
Should be the equalization. It should be the 9-9.
I thought that in the last low buy.
Yeah. The res online for Alpha 2. There are ways for Fnatic to get back into this. Looking to the B side, though. It means you're pushing in to Kreven. Man who's had back-to-back solid rounds. Rose by his side.
Oh, this is going to be a lot of info.
And Lover's Rock with all the information. 1 spot. Only 1, but I mean, they assume the others. They've heard them as well. Now it's Kreven's time. Yet again. Pistols all around him. 2 picked up. Solid work. Still pressure on Rose. He's got to deliver on that site.
They lose a player or two, that res then becomes
30 seconds
much
left.
higher value, but instead the flanks come in. There's not really a safe spot to try and plant anymore, and Larocque's not being silly about it either. Not just taking these fights, Rose! It seemed like he just forgot to shoot, was baiting the shots, but didn't fire back.
Down B.
And now Alpha's left 14 seconds, 3 players to find. It's just not happening. They've leveled it up from 7-0 down to 9-9. BBL are not going down without a fight.
This is it, Tom. This round here, you lose this fire on this Fnatic. Morale's got to be in the bin. A team that came in here, BBL, looking desperate, using 2 pauses before the 7th round had even started. They were out of time to talk with their coach, but now, hey, it's a feeling unlike any other, but it can quickly be replaced with regret if you let it slip away.
It'll be a very funny couple of days if we see Mates, the team known for choking, coming back from a deficit, and then Fnatic, the team known for comebacks, having it done to them. It feels like we've entered a parallel universe in 2026. Someone flipped the script, but one thing we know about Fnatic is no matter how dire it gets, there's always an opportunity, and they are level. It's not even like they're down. It's not even like they look out. It's just this half that has been a rough one. But they've had time to touch base. A couple of ults to play with as well. That res still available, and well, the neon ult, the overdrive for Kayak, when he's had it, has been unreal. The Blade Storm, though, might just be that little bit better. That's Crashy's gone, and that's Crashy's back, and well, Kayak has caught him as he went to try and take him for a second time.
That's the thing, confidence for BBL, sky high. But they've been punished on mid. What could have been a trade out of ults, getting rid of the res, and getting to keep your Blade Storm late into the round. Ends up with a man advantage now for Fnatic. The attempt from Lover's Rock to step in there and catch one with the off is denied. Very patient from this attack side, and that's because they're not looking to push there necessarily. Presence being taken on B instead, and look how much space is going to be found as a result.
No way through this, but there is now. Greven not aware of how much had been lost. His aggression was successful, but the trade-off may not have been worth it. Timing here for Rose is going to be everything. Alpha had a little look, and it seems like Crashies is still watching that backline, but he loses the fight.
Huge.
The IGL on the other side,
One away
now
here.
going to be clearing out that backline, keeping the eyes on him, at least for the moment. The other 2 players starting to realize, but they've lost both battles. Now Alpha is the only one left, needed for the clutch. This was looking like the combo breaker for Fnatic. Instead, it's all left to Alpha to try and win this one out. 3 players bearing down, and then Flash is going past, but also he'll have to try and deny the defusal while fighting a battle. The spam actually does damage, but there's just not enough. It's going to be diffused in front of him. They stick it all the way. BBL, for the first time this map, take the lead. And Alpha, well, they'll get a few style points at the end, but those aren't going to matter much.
It's got to feel good to be a BB lever right now. I doubt there were many of them. That's so unfortunate, the updraft into the window. But from this position, Fnatic, a timeout used as well, and same as BBL in that first half. There's no response. There's nothing to bounce back from. The crazy thing about it being the BBL, we expected their attack side to be solid. Once you see Fnatic dismantle that, it's like, oh, okay, this game's over. It's a complete mismatch. But in fact, former Tier 2 squad proving that they are here for a reason, and that they're not looking to go anywhere already. Bakash is going to be down right away. Hunter's Fury seeking out players on the sites, but not even a tag to be found as Kayak rounds the corner, moves into the smoke, and now is just a stinger to play with, fighting into a Viper's pit. Fnatic, they're being pressured on all sides.
Spike planted.
He was caught out by Houdini. And now Rose manages another. The trade back immediate from Creven, and they're already tapping onto the diffuser. Somebody's going to have to try and wrap around to check that, especially after they just diffused in front of them. And that's baited everyone into the fight. Great work from the side of BBL. They left nothing unchecked. This streak continues, a streak of unknown magnitude. BBL are now just 2 rounds away from, sure, taking their map choice. Something you might have expected, but not in this fashion.
Even then, you know, we talk about Fnatic a lot as a first game of the season, especially of the year. We know that they can come in.
I would just say kickoff in general.
Yeah. Exactly. Kicking off the year is always a little bit shaky. They've been a squad that don't put their best foot forward immediately. Need that little bit of time to breathe. And for Fnatic right now, I thought we were breaking that curse. I thought that the first half, you know.
We've broken a lot of curses this week.
Yeah, but this one, it seems to be sticking with them. You still have Haven, you still have Abyss, but this comeback from BBL is going to haunt them. If it keeps
there we go.
going, and the man who couldn't hit a goddamn shot in the first half, he's landed a belter right there.
He was 0 and 10. That stat is quickly diminishing.
Didn't get on his wall.
Well, that just leads into Lover's Rock. He can only be quiet for so long, and now he starts to become the menace we've known him to be so far in Tier 1. 2 players standing. Crashies and Boaster. But just look at where the Rock
enemy
is.
remaining.
Like, you're not going to be checking
Spike
that.
down, B.
Even though Crashies faced that way, the spike is down. Boaster's nearby. And Valorant's going to win that fight all day long, and it's zone flawless. 12-9. We saw a flawless half as the final half yesterday. We might be seeing another one in the very next game.
And the best thing is, we talked about this the last time we saw BBL here on day 2, I think it was, where we said, you know, we know how they win. We know they're good vibes team, but what happens when they lose? How do they handle those games where they're being banged out? Because I don't think they've tasted that just yet. Well, hell, I think we might have an answer here. It's not a loss of a series, but
don't make them angry.
they've been pushed to the limit. 3 chances now, somehow, to close out their map pick. BBL fighting with resilience, the likes of which you rarely get to see. What a treat as Rose takes down Kayak. A step in the right direction. But a few more tasks that need to be dealt with. And, well, a 3 versus 2 with Viper's pick. And Rez, I don't think Fnatic are letting go of this one without a fight.
Well, Loiter's looking to try and fight back, though. Alfia with another. Kreven's going to try and get in there a little bit early, but he needs to try and find it. That's an operator. That's not the gun you want in a Viper's pit. That's possibly the worst gun you can have. Going back to the Rez. Wants to try and even this up, Kreven. He's going to have to face versus 2, and Crashes will just about break the streak. That Rez was necessary. A first round in the second half for Fnatic, but it still takes them just within 2.
Fnatic versus BBL. A clutch needed from one team, and the other has to use a Rez and a Viper's pit to get there. You wouldn't think it was Fnatic that needed to use the ultis. You'd think that was BBL getting lucky, bailing themselves out of a bad situation, but breaking the streak. Finally, 2 more needed, though.
That's the worry. They've used everything.
Yep.
The closest ultimate is Crashies with the Hunter's Fury, and that's going to be 3 away. On the other side, they have Hunter's Fury, and they even have the Dimensional Drift, which, as a combo goes, it's about the best you can get. Early middle control, orb used for the cross. It's going to sell the idea, but this 1-2 punch of Larocque and Lover's Rock, we said what would happen if we get both of them online at the same time, and it turned out it was pretty good.
Yeah, I was kind of talking about another game, another map, but, you know.
Another few rounds.
A few rounds was all it took. For Fnatic, presence across the map and a fake towards B now being sent out. Kayak hoping to find a pick as rotations come through. But nothing seen. And Lover's Rock will pop the ultimate now, spotting out at least one. Rose backing off on the site. We could see the Hunter's Fury.
I'm going to read.
He's in position for it, but he's very far away. And it looks like Rock just walks out instead. Kayak doing well to trade that, though. That op's going to be a big problem for
35
BBL.
seconds. Yeah, the problem is the time, though. It's starting to get to a point where it could get very scrappy. And look at Loiter. Look at the push-up. He's gone all the way deep. He's trying to just slow them down at this stage. He still has a snake bite available to them, and that's where the spike is currently going. Operator in play, but Spammy showed his back. That's a mistake. Snakebite is down. Loiter, look at it by time, but he's going to be scanned. He's going to be revealed. He's being pressured, and Kayak takes him out at the very depths of the last second, but there's the Hunter's Fury. Spike not yet dropped, and it won't be. Bosa's got enough HP to survive, and in fact, Kayak's there to kill him off. It's a split second, but it's enough. Kreven again, though. Does he realize? Oh, he will now. Catches him as he slides. Back to that 1 versus 1.
Is there a chance, man? Kreven's had so many big rounds. This has been his game, 21 and 15 at the moment. but he's looking for Boaster, searching, and he's checking the right spot, but time now pulls him back towards the site. The star waiting for him there is going to be a problem. Maybe he can get it to half if he's lucky, but just about denied. Perfect timing for Boaster, and now Kreven, he's under too much pressure! What a shot! But he didn't get it to half! Boaster buying just enough time. Fnatic continue to draw breath with 1 round left to play for.
I don't think he got the operator either. It's unlucky, but it's perfectly timed for Boaster, as you'd expect. Knew when he needed to use that grab well, knew when he needed to peek. He's always been good in those late round scenarios for a reason, and after a streak, an absurd streak of rounds, 9 in a row, Fnatic, as always, they never make it easy for themselves. But it isn't done just yet. Economy-wise, they're in the bin. It's Guardians across the board, bar a singular rifle. On the other side of things, it seems like they know it. Look, that sniper, that's not an operator, Mitch, for Lovers Rock, but it works as one in this round.
Yeah, it's a good read. Maybe that can give them the leg up, but if it doesn't, Larocque certainly will. Vakaj down early again, and Larocque doesn't overstay his welcome. Uses his dash up before it fades, and he is out. Advantage locked in for BBL, and no mistakes. Oh, being made! Lovers Rock catches Boaster 2. A nail in the coffin. Fnatic waited so long to get back online. It looks like it might have been too long.
Loiter could be a pressure point here.
Toxins going up.
Stuns to the back, but he's dodged them. Rose takes the fight, wins it versus Kayak. Alpha yet in no man's land, and this time Lovers Rock, he almost leveled. He's almost got back from 0 and 10 all the way back to 17-17, and Crashy's all he needs the clutch of a lifetime, and it's not happening. An in-zone flawless to close out map number 1. Unstoppable defensive side, and if you ever question BBL core, stick with the boys that he made it through Ascension with, and hey, so far, so good. The question is, can they now continue that on going into both Fnatic's map pick, but also potentially the next one where they struggled on just a couple of days ago?
To start things off, aggression from BBL. They've sent a lot of players to look for this fight in A main. And rotating back is going to take a long time. Easier to go forward. Push is coming to shove. Fnatic, they've seen 1 player pushed up A. They expect there could be some aggression, but they don't know quite how much. Great paranoia. It forces 2 players back. Larocque chases them around that corner. The Cash is being spotted. Alpha's being dropped, but that trade back, it's kept it doable. A 2 versus 3 now. The Cash and Boaster, Spike's still under their control, but they're looking to trade out those fights, to catch a straggler towards A main, but BBL have backed off.
Well, yeah, this is the value of Kreven. Kreven just has so much of the map locked down with information. Like, is he going to kill everybody if they go C or B? No, he can't be in both places at once. But the trips deep within C, the cam as well, and of course the one you're looking at on your screen right now, it meant if they go pushing A and they go the other way, he at least has a bit of delay and a bit of info. That's the value that Cypher is bringing. For now, at least.
30 seconds left.
It's a walk all the way back from Vakaj. Not sure if they're trying to sell a ruse, maybe hoping that those players are still pushed up and are going to get aggressive. They are rotating off, but realistically, with 15 seconds left, he now looks to try and join his teammate, but whatever ruse they were trying to sell has not been sold. They're going to be on the right side of the map, ready to try and flood back in.
Spike planted.
I'll be denied. They're quickly on him.
Last
That guy's
player
stuck
standing.
No
behind
escape.
that box. As you said, no escape. Boaster has a paranoia, will catch one, but the spat through is perfect. And BBL take the pistol round to start Haven. This, the map pick of Fnatic, Tom, I think we have to come in with higher expectations. Maybe not for the first half, but overall. This should be Fnatic's take, but BBL, they're looking hot to the touch coming into this.
Yeah, you can see the confidence that Larocque is running with and the rest of the team sort of following alongside. But then
remaining.
I do feel like it is almost that yin and yang. You have the hyper-aggression of Larocque and Lovers Rock, and then you have Kreven as your safe pair of hands on the other side of the map, just being that sort of smart, integral turret that they need. And they even knew that he hadn't pushed to the backside because that trip never got broken. So it just gave so much information to where that player was. I think he got hit by a cam and then a reveal. There was no escape for Vakaj. It's just smart stuff towards the end. Maybe not what you would expect from a young rookie team.
keeps going. Of course he does. Ain't crashing his back pocket. 1 kill for Lovers Rock already. He's clearing the window. They've seen him. They have dealt with him. It was a bold play. And that's the risk for BBL burned up. Everyone else has to play this one tight. But the problem is, for Fnatic, you think about look at any part of the map right now. If they go as a group, if they push it down as 4, there's a real chance for them to come out on top in that fight, especially now that they've got a Marshall to work with too. I think that's kind of why you see such passive angles being taken. Every single player on BBL can fire a shot or 2 and immediately get out.
Well, yeah, they've also still got so much information across the map. Like they don't really need to overface just the side steps from Larocque. If they go towards long, they have a player just watching. There goes the drone. This is all a ruse. Smoke still kept on that side of the map, and with no real pressure put behind all of that
30 seconds
utility,
left.
the 2 players have just fallen back. They're just waiting patiently for anybody to try and attempt to run. In fact, because of this, Fnatic have actually gone pushing into this side of the map, maybe expecting it to be a bit more empty, because they felt no resistance to their initial push. 15 seconds left, and nothing really left to play with, but okay. The Bandit has helped them at least with 1. Larocque still standing, and the TP to the site. All really hope for is a little bit of damage, and hey, dropped an extra gun. That's not bad. 3 players dropped in a low buy round for Fnatic. Now they can look to try and break them with the buy.
Yeah, I think they've definitely dealt with that one. Nice way, considering Lovers Rock got caught out early. It was already a decent start, but sufficient damage done on the side to take. Next is what it's all about, though. Fnatic, a streak of rounds came out of BBL to close out the previous. They carried that momentum through to this one. It's going to be a really tough pill to swallow for Fnatic so far. There hasn't been a lot to report back about. Good start to the map for Vakaj. This is where they need to really make a dent in that BBL defense. There's so many weaknesses. You've got 2 pistols being brought into this round, 2 Bulldogs, the main hope being Lovers Rock can land a couple of tags, yet already BBL have the opening pick, and it's Kayak that they've dropped.
Yeah, that's not the start you were looking for. He was a superstar in the early rounds of the last map. Loiter, though, has been dropped through the smoke. Vekash has been doing well so far. His 5th kill already. Lovers Rock holding a tight angle, but it seems like they're aware of the danger. He's not breaking his step. Eventually, that pressure will be put on, forcing him out, but a lot of time has been bought. 50 seconds on the clock as they now look to potentially redirect. That was all just to make sure there wasn't too much information available, and that B site did have that initial opening. It seems like that's where they'll go.
Smoke and reveal, heard and seen. Kraven decides not to
30
swing back
seconds
in
left.
and look to catch him crossing. Walls blocked him out anyways. Now Larocque goes through on a wall of his own, and they've made it to the back site. Decoy sent through Garage, trying to draw some eyes so they can get that early re-clear of that control. But the problem is here now, the time ticking away. Paranoia, utility still there for Fnatic. A shock dart to work with, a nano that hasn't been thrown. BBL need to take the fight to them. They need to go pushing, and Fnatic are waiting for it. Beckoning them into these fights, but with Boaster down, that's a thorn in the side. Still, players towards the window, and the defuse denied! Vakaj! Unleashing an ace on them! Fnatic have got their round, and we said a good start to this map.
Look at the kill time.
Bloody stellar one there.
So, on the entire scoreboard, Fnatic currently have 10 kills.
Yes, 9.
Yeah, Becca just 9. It really is. That is ridiculous. Maybe that's what they saw. But maybe this is what he was doing.
That's what I'm saying, man. Whoever scout knows a lot more than I do, and also about getting this out of him. Where was that guy last year? I haven't seen him.
That was the first half.
Oh, French fans on this.
They're fine now. Their team's doing great. Even still, the immediate shutdown. Larocque's gone, Kayak's gone. Hey, I would call that even. Alfie has done well. Back on his trusty companion of Killjoy, allows him to almost play his own game at times. After losing your duelist early, you're gonna have to do a little bit more here together. Drone through.
Cage triggered.
Lineup being thrown as well
Swarm grenade.
for the Nano. But there is still this operator. Glass cannon one as well. No shields behind it, but Lover's Rock is confident.
He's so back. From a 0-10 start to the previous map. Inverse Kayak.
Cutting through.
Look at him go. The confidence to come in here with the glass cannon. Plays the TP on the side. They're gonna be worried about him. The BBL are gonna worry about Boaster. What was that? A double, and with a pit up as well, and up on the retake without shields. Even with them, not sure it's gonna make a difference. This one's done. There's no way you get away with that. They don't have shocks, but they've got a snakebite still to work with. Kreven, though, he's got a gap inside that. If they throw the snakebite through, they'll assume that he's left this because he'd be dead to the pit. He'll just about get it to half. It's a small margin, but that could get them across the line. The problem is the spams. The decay is going to be in play. Kreven as well to land the first, but Boaster finishes his dinner. Eats them alive inside that pit. And we're back to 2-2, back to level footing.
It's a little bit nervous. Well, when I saw that gap, I started to feel a little bit shaky. But Boaster, well aware of the spam angle, going to make sure that nothing more can come of it. He now moves up the board. Puts them 2-2, but more importantly, resets the economy of BBL. Now, I'm looking at Larocque having the overdrive. That's one ult we've already seen enough impact from Kayak alone. See what ideas he has with it. Doesn't seem to matter. Kayak's on the board. Rose gone within a second. I think he was just attempting to try and support Larocque's early push, but he's the one that bites the bullet.
It's an ace and a 4K so far for Fnatic, and that's gotten them up against an eco.
Turrets destroyed.
Great way to get back through into the game. Trades out on mid are perfect. From this point, the question of damage is where we have to look. There is an AWP in play here. Taking down a couple of players could be valuable, depending on where those bodies fall. I guess there are dangers. You're going to have this plant through from Crashies. So Hunter's Fury online for the next round as well over on Fnatic.
Planted.
One away from a lockdown as well. And I think that's obviously just going to be something that Rose is going to have to camp his ultimate. Just wait for that lockdown to come through to fire his own in. In terms of what BBL have to work with coming into the next, they'll have the rifles, but Fnatic have the upper hand. In terms of those ultimates with freedom to use their own Hunter's Fury for those site clears, for the post plants.
It looks like exits or die to the spike in this one for BBL. And while this is the one where Fnatic are going to start to build up some of that economy on the attack side, it's always difficult after a defeat in the last map to have that reset, especially after losing the pistol to such an aggressive defensive side. But with Vakash's ace, Boaster, and now this round, Fnatic are looking like they're back on the horse. We're going to start looking again at BBL, like, okay, what have you got to try and turn this tide? The operator in Lover's Rock definitely is one of the pieces of the puzzle, that's for sure. But I do worry a little bit that their defensive side was so good on the last map because Kreven was pretty much surviving every single time. Like, it was really hard to pick him out. Thus far, he's been having a bit of a rough map. Now, it's early days, but that's something to keep an eye on.
Oh, Hunter's Fury. We talked about it being fired in a bit more freely. Well, it's going to be off rip that it's sent through. Lover's Rock, the one to find the damage. Taking down a player as they clear out that space, but he gets a bit greedy. Goes back for more, and it's Kayak to take a bite right out of him.
Still looking for those fights. Operator tag, but it's not quite the kill. They've posted Vekaj up as well. Now, they have lost Boaster early. That does sort of remove some of their flexibility. Paranoia obviously gone, but also those additional smokes, the wall being placed early, doesn't leave them with a whole lot. And in fact, it's actually looking like it's going to be a walkout. I'm looking at the position of Crashy's drone has been utilized. He's firing off all of his utility. He has absolutely no idea, clueless to the fact that there's been re-aggression from the BBL side. And now they gamble on the idea that it's A. They have gambled wrong. And with the cam being broken, it might swing them back the other direction, but it does seem like Fnatic will commit this way. I think Rose just saw
30
something.
seconds left.
Because they all just
think
stopped.
so.
They all just stopped in a moment, and he is locked in on that angle.
And they're not peeking it until they slide in, and Hunter's Fury then follows, and you're dead right, Tom. It was worth committing. The kill found, now Vakaj down, Kayak on 14, really nicely done. But the IGL up top, eyes like searchlights in the dark.
10 seconds left.
Just giving
Spike
hope to
planted.
BBL. This round should
Still
be
have
theirs.
drone. That's so annoying. Kayak 14 HP, had to play risky. He had to get in their face. He had to find an off angle. And with the drone,
Shock
you
dart.
just can't do that.
Nanos are gone as well, Tom. Fnatic were about to back off site, but they've got to stay up close. The
Last
shock dart
player
removed
standing.
their nanos. The spams removed Kayak. And Alpha Year is now all that stands. We've seen him win in situations like this, but it's not going to happen against BBL. A 3K from Larocque confirms the third for BBL. And we're right back to neck and neck.
Operator going to be retrieved, so that was why they're holding onto the defuse. But yeah, I wonder if it was just like the operator barrel or something that was seen that gave away the game of Bekash being in that corner, because like you don't commit this much utility if you're not 100% certain that that guy has gone into the corner. So clearly something was spotted out by Rose that stopped them all rotating. They were about to sprint back to the C site.
Here's the thing, though. It's really the deal that they've made here. The handshake that's tightened halfway through. Alpha Year now gets to use that lockdown pretty much denial-free. There's not going to be a Hunter's Fury to take him down, and so, it looks like we're going to get some early aggression out of BBL. No surprise. Gate crashes online. Lover's Rock can get down here. The smoke and window means he doesn't need to worry about his left, but they've realized that also. Fnatic hearing the smoke bloom and window. They don't really want to give away a free fight and a free pick, and it's a good thing too, because it's not just the op. There's a paranoia being held so that off contact, Lloyd can fire it through, catch those players, and completely obliterate them. So you'll have an op, and then everyone else trying to trade gets hit by a paranoia and probably deleted by Kraven. There's not really an easy solution to this other than go somewhere else or commit a lot of utility to clear this out. And with Lover's Rock backing off, Fnatic have chosen their timing well, but that paranoia is still a big problem.
Yeah, it's still there. Drone goes through. Pressure put in, but the spam's wonderful. But that's where the trap is sprung. Swinging round the corners. It's beautiful from
Spike
BBL.
down mid.
They had to adapt the trap. That's an amazing shot from Bekash. Just on timing alone. But even still, though, that spike has been dropped in an undesirable location. Boaster's not just going to sit pretty, though. Bear in mind, he could just take the spike. But I think
30
it's
seconds
been realized by Lover's Rock. Look at his movement, straight back towards the A site. He's had the idea that, okay, they're going to look for a gap, look for some space. Where will that be held? But he is looking in the wrong direction at the moment. The potential for a wraparound, but the sixth sense. Now that spike's going to be taken, and he's going to be there, ready and waiting to just stop him, deny him. Only 9 seconds left on the clock. Bekash is trying to bait him in. He doesn't even realize he stood right next to him. It's going to be a fourth for BBL. A wonderful trap play, but then Lover's Rock with a perfect read.
Yeah, everything going according to plan there. The second that drone goes up, Larocque is ready. Paranoia is fired in. He's sliding down middle and covering that distance at record pace. But like you said, really the cherry on top is the fact that read is made. They know the ult's online. They know the spike's not in a great position for a snatch and grab, so you're going to go for that ulti to take it for free. Lover's Rock cerebral play, and Fnatic feeling outclassed have called a timeout early. Remember, it was BBL burning both their timeouts 6 rounds in, right before the 7th.
A little bit from Fnatic, not allow them to have those sort of set plays. I also think, especially towards that A site, Fnatic have been able to get quite a lot of value in the early round, with Rose being caught a couple of times.
The timer ticking. But Fnatic are taking it nice and easy, knowing what they're up against. The Pistols likely to group up and hit, but I think we've seen them try to play that push and pull, and it's a good round for learnings. Figuring out which spots are being played, which spots are being overreacted to when you pop that little bit of utility down. Already, aggression towards A gets opening pick. The play towards Garage doesn't net all too much. BBL now have a high-low inside there, so you're definitely not getting that control for free. But taking this focus from the defensive side, bringing their eye towards the B site, towards middle, this has worked wonderfully. Just like Aragorn at the gates. You're going to be able to walk right into the A site. Still need to deal with Rose.
He's left completely alone, but the rotation just in time as the drone comes through. He is going to get spotted. Oh dear. Luckily, it's a fake. Taking damage from the shock dart, and I don't think a single bullet has connected for him so far. In fact, Larock's been lost elsewhere, now jumping in, but luckily, what a shot from Kayak, but it's only damage. The round is still going to go the way of BBL as they extend their lead a little further.
Same old tricks.
I do feel like Rose was maybe firing quite a lot of warning shots there. This is your 24th warning.
It is insane to think that, you know, there was a point where we were talking about, you know, the spark of hope for BBL to maybe, I mean, even build up momentum for the second half was kind of the idea. They did that, you know, a bit better than expected, even in the dream scenario.
Yes, this should do.
And now we're looking at this point where there's some messy, some chaotic scenarios that they're coming out on top of as well. Like, they look to be beating Fnatic at every facet of the game in a lot of these rounds. That spark of hope, man, it's bloomed into a raging inferno.
Next.
BBL taking full advantage of the momentum they've been gifted, but Kraven, he's got to be dead in this corner, surely.
Paranoia just a second too late. Luckily, that paranoia was so good that Larock got about 6 attempts to kill Althea, which normally you don't get. Sight has been lost in the meantime, though. They've given up this side of the map. Ultimates, not really the ones you'd want online. A couple of kills would be needed for either Larock or Lover's Rock. Both of them are about to come under pressure, and he does manage to win that fight. Vekash, though, does. Trade almost immediate. It keeps that control, but do they know there's a second player coming in from behind? Rose is going to watch, keep them in the corner. Flash is being expended, almost keep the idea that there's nobody there, and then Kayak is dropped as well. 2 standing, one of them being Crashies to take that first contact, wins the first fight, second as well. Now up against his doppelganger on the other side, who actually has an operator in hand. He could just buy that time, waste that clock a little bit lower, and almost try and bait him. It needs to be halved, and now Rose would need to connect this shot, needs to bait him into a fight, and Crashy just isn't going for it. He's playing this masterfully and will go down with the ship. It's a 4th round at the hands of Crashies. Fnatic are back.
1 round behind. They didn't leave it too late either. They heat right back up into this. Been some crazy rounds. 1 in it. And the fact that Kraven gets caught here in mid, not even a massive pivotal play for them. It's the fact that when they move towards this A site, Fnatic leave a player, I think it was Boaster, behind to watch for that very early flank. And there was a double wraparound coming in from BBL. It's spotted immediately.
Beautiful.
They're able to make those adjustments. It is.
Time to
maniacal.
Here.
Round 10. Lockdown online on one side. We're getting close to Rose having that Hunter's Fury. We're getting to the point of the game where I expect to see that put through, but now it might be needed. Man disadvantage immediately.
Kayak has been getting wrecked. Like, it seems like every play he's attempted to make, every push, he's been shut down. We started about his early start on the last map being dominant, and well, currently 3-9.
It very much is. It's the Lover's Rock experience from the last map. He's going for these early fights. There's another guy on the other side. He's winning that joust every
Slightly
time.
better experience.
Slightly, yeah, he's got 3 kills.
10.
That's good. But, you know, in terms of effect, about the same. I think it's a little more forgivable as well here on this attack side. What?
Okay.
Was that another? Honestly, at this point, can we please get like end of day compilation of the of Vikash shooting people through smokes? Because I feel like he's doing it non-stop. The last map, I can think of like 4 rounds where he did it. He's got a crazy read on like when you're going to be there.
Yeah, and it's not even like he has any files. Like, I saw word.exe on his background, but other than that...
I saw him on the PowerPoint before the game. I'm not sure what that was about.
Yeah,
30
it
seconds
wasn't
left.
really anything. 4v4. Rose in the corner once again. Lockdown. They're just going to wait this one out. Maybe he'll stick around.
He's going.
He's going to try, and he has managed to take down one, destroying this. Yeah, I was about to say, that was a last-ditch effort. I also think... Oh, I was about to say, Larock almost gets Boy straight back in, though. Sliding through, wants to try and deny the Viper's pit. The spam not quite connecting. Spike hasn't gone down just yet. They're going to have to try and stick it. And the spam does damage, but not to the player he wanted. Lover's Rock has managed to find another into that 1v1, but it's the same man again. Crashy's looking to save back-to-back rounds, but not this time. Loiter will give them that lead or extend it that little further. 6-4.
They pushed them off the B side. They got the control for a moment. They got a pit down as well. That's a nightmare round to play against. And the fact that you've got a Yoru ult on BBL, Lovers Rock goes in there, searches for these players. Nah, man, stop, dude. Like, eat this.
Oh, he walked into it.
That's so annoying to play against. He's doing it so consistently. This all the shots
That's
you don't
just
take, but this is it. He's got the Yoru stood behind him going, shoot me. He's right here.
Yeah.
When you got a laser like that, it's pretty easy. Just fire it through. And he'd already done, I think, about half HP-ish when the Viper first tried to walk through the choke and he blind fired. So really, really well done. That's a great counter. You love to see things like that. And keep in mind, that's not just the pit. It's also the lockdown taken out of play. A really big ultimate to get that space where Rose didn't have the Hunter's Fury to counter. And then, well, he used himself. The fact that he walked into the smoke to take the first fight, I respect it. That takes gall. The fact that he then tried to spam the ult through the smoke, that's a little shaky. It was maybe a bridge too far, but oh, we've got some fans from Brazil here. That's quite a journey, I have to say.
That is a long journey. Been there a few times. Amazing food.
I'm sorry about the weather, lads. It's tough. It's cold out here. I doubt it gets as cold in Brazil.
No, I don't think it does.
I almost cried on the way in today, man.
Weirdly as well. Slightly.
Really enjoy about them is the fact that they, like you said, had offers from many different teams, and no doubt one player could have taken the cash, right? And left. Went to the promised land of a stacked roster instead of these tier 2 guys you're playing with. But they stuck with their buddies. They stuck together. Shame Fnatic didn't do the same. But anyways, for BBL, looking for that 7th round here on the defensive side. Outlaw in play for Lovers Rock. A few ultis to work with, and Fnatic already showing a lot of presence towards C Long. They've lost a player there in the form of Alfier, but it doesn't look like they're going to be committing straight through for the fights. Fortunately, their fallback will be spotted.
Yeah, this is a round where you don't expect too much.
Take flight.
Oh, Rose, they're going to know he's
Enemy
pushed up, and he's going to know that they're there. A lot of the danger dissipating. Wow. It's just grinding to a halt, waiting to see if anybody makes a mistake. I like that we see both Lovers Rock and Loiter do that. The constant jump peaks with the TP to escape, so that they can get information with very, very small amounts of risk. For Lovers Rock, he's gone straight back to the right place at the right time.
Ooh, he's
30
just about
seconds
making
left.
it out.
They found my wire.
Could have been a double spam on him.
Camera taken
Danger.
out.
But Lovers Rock avoids any further damage. The wall even helping him absorb that first shot. Reloaded. In for a little bit more, but he'll be denied as they move towards that garage, at least from his perspective. 12 seconds left. Fnatic are taking this into a late B hit, and it's Kreven that they have to deal with. They've racked the rotates for the most part. It was an easy task to get that plant down. That advantage no longer in play for BBL. Quickly closing the distance they've already lost. Lovers Rock the sniper down on backside. Crashes does well. Did get a little bit of damage and draw the eye, but the rest crumble. Because no one's able to trade that out. That kind of shot me.
He almost lined them up,
yeah. It looked like it. I got a little worried. But another for BBL. 7 on the board. This defensive side looking stellar. And it's worth mentioning, they did obviously decide to start on the defensive side, but Fnatic did decide to play this one.
It's surprising as well, because I think a lot of people would have looked at this and gone, okay, well, Vekash coming in, maybe, yeah, downgrade from Chronicle just because it's Chronicle,
yeah.
But don't worry, we've got Kayak and Alfio going to carry us through the game. Oof. It's not looking great right now. They're having a rough one, both of them. 4-11, 3-10. They have been quiet and will definitely be a necessary piece of the comeback in the second half. But for now, they're looking to try and at least make this a 7-5. They've had opportunities as well. Kayak's time, it's not getting any better. He's already low.
I'll bet if Lovers Rock just taps on tab, he's going to be thinking, yeah, you get what you deserve. Have a taste of your own medicine. Kayak stuck in the corner, could be 3-11. LaRock's walking up and the gate crash just about got him out in time. And so they reset, but with damage taken, the Hunter's Fury still to play off against on both sides. Fnatic that need to take ground. I'm expecting that's going to be what they look to use to get them in. You don't want to hit the ult on the rock. He's going to dodge it. But you do want to use it to clear those angles, surely.
Again, I feel like a lot of what Fnatic are having to do here is just constantly check angles to make sure they haven't lost too much space with how aggressive their opponents are willing to be, but they kind of have a double stack up on Shaw, a potential for Loiter to even turn around with a paranoia and send it through the wall. Instead, they're going to go back towards Long, which actually is the most open spot. Best opportunity they have for a gap, but their opponents are not going to sit pretty. Alpha a one and done, but they now know that he's here. Trade out, looking for the spam, and Larocque is still just going strong, dodging the ult while he does it. Impressive movement to keep himself alive. Eventually will go down though, keeping things even for the moment, but that time is ticking. 12 seconds left, the shot dart doing additional damage. And Verbostre needs to stay alive, but he's got his brother alongside him, Hunter's Fury. He's going to have to let go, and it's not going to get planted. There's not enough time. Oh, that has gone catastrophically wrong. The Red Bull clutch for Rose without doing any damage.
Oh, well, they might have gone through the last year, comeback after comeback. They've shed that here, other team, but losing to time. Oh, that hasn't gone anywhere. A disaster for Fnatic. Could have been a stabilizing round, but a big play from BBL has put them 8-4. A big lead with a chance to close it out here and now. We've got a halftime break coming up, but during it, we're going to be going down to Lou, who is standing. Would be more than happy to have.
Yeah, for sure. We know that this is a stage of 3 strikes and you're out, so it's not too dangerous for either side if they were to lose, but the further along you get, the further you drop down. It's a little bit of a bonus. Pacing on the Alfia, well, if you thought he was having a bad start in the first half, it's not got any better. He's dead within the first 10 seconds.
That's the thing. You buy the bandit, you play up close like that. Larocque's managed to make it all the way through because of the mistake. Because the utility going down, he's wrapped around to the C site. He can make it late around through the spawn, but the spike is down. Fnatic might swap places with the attackers. This could be a big problem, but with Crashy's down, now the world could be their oyster. Vakash in the window, misses the shots in the cross. His wall will get him out. He's going to be able to reset, but now Vakash is down. He's being caught as he walks right into Lover's Rock, unaware of the space taken by BBL. It's a messy pistol. Lloyd and Larocque desperately low. It's still anyone's game. Oh, it was. It really was.
He's now back to the C site. Kayak has the right read. 2 players, 1 bullet down, and then Lover's Rock is the only healthy one. He's been spotted on the other side, but they're planting for the spawn. The spam's not quite
Spike
reaching.
planted.
Close, but no cigar. Needs to be his first shot. If he gets rid of Lover's Rock, this really is winnable, but it's questioning where all those other players have gone. It's questioning if they sit in these corners tight around his angles. So many places left to check. Noises going off around him that is going to add further confusion to what is ultimately players just standing completely still. And now that one-way smoke in play is only going to make it more difficult. A time ticking away, and he didn't even get past hurdle number 1. That's Lover's Rock. 4 kills in the pistol. And after what was, as said, a devastating start to map number 1, he is having a fantastic map number 2.
And just as an individual look at an individual case, I suppose, of what we talked about, how does this team lose? How do you deal with coming up against a player who's hailed as the duelist, the rookie of the year? And not necessarily this year, but you know, as close as can be. And he demolishes you. Has one of the best starts to a map we've seen. You have one of the worst we've seen from you. And not only did he reset in that map, he then comes into this looking sublime as well. For BBL, they are ticking all the boxes, man, as we're watching them. And, you know, I suppose that's one of the things we talk about comfort on the stage they'll need to grow into. They skip a lot of the problems that a lot of orgs who've been here for a long time have. You know, teams like GX don't, teams like Fnatic to the most part don't. Where they've already been together, they've got that chemistry. They don't have to figure each other out. Figure out the other teams. Nice shot by Lover's Rock. Did he get out? He didn't even use the gate crash and he was free.
Yeah, I guess didn't want to risk giving them that second or so of window. Alpha's about to go swinging into what is the majority of the team and done a little bit of chip damage, but only thing they'll worry about. And Rose, well, he's had enough of that. Kayak hoping that maybe somebody swings into the angle he's already in. Good flash, but even still, no one dead. A lot of damage. Look how low some of these players are, but if you don't take them down, well, the damage comes down to you lost them some shields, which I don't think BBL are going to care that much in a 10-4 lead.
Well, you know, I won't speak for the players.
Okay, you can ask them after the game. I'm sure that'll be a really interesting interview question.
I think I will.
In round number 14, did you mind losing your shields and winning with all of your players alive?
I won't ask them. I don't want to agitate them. Bring back up that bad memory. But yeah, I think young Vekaj go down to the spike, name of the game for Fnatic.
Lovers Rock is like, you're not going down to the spike, you're going down to me. And he was wrong. But he did get an orb, and that's what he wanted. He's one away from having his ult online.
Orbs and orb wins a win. Just the stats take a small hit, but they can afford a few hits here or there.
Lost his shields.
Oh no! Well, in that case, yeah, for BBL, 10-4, strong position. But here's my meta theory, right?
Okay, ready for this.
Fnatic have come in, map 2, they realized we need to come back. We need to capture our mojo again. We got to get Vekaj on the same page we've been on last year.
You can't come back if you're in the lead.
Exactly. And so that's it. They realized in a Fnatic game, there will always be a comeback.
How far do they let it go?
Right about now.
Okay.
Right about now, and then you bounce back.
It's amazing
if I was
that
a coach, that's what I'd be called.
Milan told you this much about their strategy.
I just assume Milan is as
You're very
strategically minded as me. So, well, he's gone for the Vekaj shoot someone through smoke again strategy. And no surprise to anybody, it's worked again. I don't know how he does it, but the guy knows his angles. Fair play. Another for the tally. They need to make a compilation of that. And Boaster's caught Kraven looking the other way. Like I said, Tom, this is the round they lock in. All part of the plan.
Deploying drone.
It's a risky plan, but if your opponents get on board as well, sometimes it can work.
It's the content strategy from Devard. You know, they've allowed him to integrate more holistic product.
That's not a good idea. Oh. The Rock is still alive. Lovers Rock is still alive. We asked what would happen if that duo was both online at the same time, and we've been witnessing it. A hefty lead. And LaRock is looking to try and get the punish. Patient from Lovers Rock catches one, but LaRock is taking a lot of damage in return. Even still, damage here would be nice. They can buy into the next round, but it's not over until it's over. A swing coming out, timing perfect! And even though LaRock was on just 11 HP, he's come out with 2. Crashies and Boaster.
Who's next?
But now they're even going to be potentially revealed on the hunt to try and find where they are. And the fact is, while all of this happens, the time is still ticking. That's allowed Lovers Rock to reposition completely. I almost wonder if they have to think about saving the weapons. The time just isn't there. And in a scenario of a bonus, it's not too bad for the side of BBL. A round that they almost definitely shouldn't have won. A 3v5 that makes things 11-4. A Red Bull clutch to close it. And oh, Fnatic have got to be feeling the heat now.
The instant reset applied with that Red Bull clutch. Starts out with Vekaj. Starts out with Vekaj getting killed and Boaster, sorry, in mid, I believe it was. Yeah. And they managed to return it. That's the play, though, man. This is where you've already fought for control towards A-Link. Boaster's backed off and gone to spawn. He sets up a paranoia. Why? Because you don't have C-Link, you don't have B-Man. You all know it's not over till it's over. But right now, a team that for last year was a story of top 2. It looks like they could be top 2 in this matchup as well. If BBL have their way, 2 more rounds. LaRock 22-10, and Lovers Rock was out on a similar performance last map. Really feels like, well, so was LaRock, I suppose. Really feels like there's complete difference of levels, at least here on Haven. The pick of Fnatic. If we were to run it back again, I think BBL would be happy to play this map.
Ooh, okay, he got there in the end. A little bit of delay. Of course, this is more of a buy than not for Fnatic. Like, you've got all credits spent by Althea, who's now dead, by the way.
What was that?
Should I name another player? All credits spent by Kayak. Okay, it didn't work twice.
Through the door.
Oh, maybe it will work twice, just on a slight delay. Kayak's still in a very aggressive position. Kreven's just going to walk past, but this might actually end up being more of a burden because he'll go through and go, guys, A is clear. There is no one on A.
The thing is, with the positions they have, sure, they might go back and go A main. They could split into B, but it's back to A main. Okay, now here's the problem. You know, nobody's short. There should be someone long. They're worried about the corner. The question was, would they expect him to be that far up? And the answer was a clear yes. Great job from Kreven. Great space taken. And Fnatic, a 5v3 facing them in a round that a few players have gone heavy in terms of investments. And there's nothing to show for it for right now.
That was also with 15 seconds left when they go onto the side. So if they lose the spike there, this could have got incredibly dangerous. It seems like they're still going for this. I expected this to maybe fall into a save, but they're going to try and run it back, run into the site. They're going to get slaughtered for it. It was barely even a lick of damage from the side of BBL. They'll take that all day long, but credit where credit is due. Kreven made sure that no mistakes were made, because I feel like we've seen that many a time where you get onto the side and you go, everything's clear, and that's enough for your team to lose a round, but they were methodical in the way they checked everything.
Well, my hope now is next time that I'm in a ranked game and we're 7-0 down, my teammate votes to surrender, I hope the rest all think about it. And I hope they also surrender, because we don't have LaRock.
Yeah.
We don't have Lover's Rock. You're not making that comeback happen. And hell, we didn't think they would either. But look at them. 12-4. 8 chances to close this out against a team hailed by many as the best for a long time now. Rose, with the spidey senses tingling, sends a few into Alpha Air. And as lead flies, the chances sink for Fnatic. They need a hero. They need a hero to stick around for quite a while. A Batman for their Gotham.
He's on the desk, unfortunately, so I don't think they're going to be able to get him in the corner. They're checking again. They know that this is where Kayak is, but he's got cover. He's got support. Vekaj has just been ragged. Oh! Nice shot from Kayak. Finally, he awakens. But there's always more pieces to the puzzle for BBL. Loiter has taken full control. Now, if he had his ult, this would be wonderful. He could take the spike, but instead his teammate's going to have to deliver it for him, and he's going to act as a backstab. Crunchies has got to be like, why are you there? Why are you behind me? Why are you waiting, watching for me to make a move? They have got them trapped in a box. Well, we've seen Boaster clutches spark this Fnatic team time and time again. But there has been nothing in this map to make me believe. They already know exactly where he is. Smoke to create a gap. Paranoia leaving him blinded. He's got to wait a second, and they're both sat within, waiting. A Paranoia on the other side, but the near sight's not going to worry them. He's still got so many angles left to check, trying to bait them into the fight. He's at least revealed one of them, but they are just dancing around him, and there's Kreven lurking in the darkness. BBL, they made it here just a few days ago.